First of all, I'd like to thank President Jagger, the Board of Trustees, my fellow educators and staff at Newman University, as well as all of you in attendance for this opportunity to speak to you today. Just to clarify, the title of my speech has literally nothing to do with the actual speech itself. I just thought it was kind of catchy. That being said, I am a trophy husband, but the only context that lends to the speech is to give you an early indication that I'm somewhat delusional and completely out of touch with reality. While I appreciate being selected for this honor, I'm not entirely sure why I'm up here. There's no way I'm one of the best professors at Newman University. I'm sure I'm not even in the top 5 on my floor. I am better than Professor Nance, but I think most people are. I know, I can't believe he still has a job here either, so don't get me started. I'm probably going to get beat up by the accounting majors after this, by the way, although I'm not sure they beat people up. They'll probably just audit me vigorously. But enough about me. What I'd like to do here in my limited time today, as your commencement speaker, is provide a few parting lessons before we get you out the door. First, I'd like to congratulate the students on going through this ceremony and an eventful event. It is a rite of passage. That being said, I would ask that you have some humility about this day and its meaning. Because as much as it may seem like it, today, this day, is not really about you. I've taken part in all of the graduation ceremonies that I have been eligible to be involved with. The reason? This day is much more about your opportunity to show gratitude to all those who helped get you to this point. So while you will certainly be cashing the checks, raking in the Bitcoin, or gathering those Venmo thingamabob doohickeys or whatever it is you're all doing these days, I hope you'll reflect and show appreciation for all those who helped get you to this point. Parents, family, teachers, coaches, music, and acting instructors, whoever it may be. If not today, someday soon, reach out and show some gratitude and acknowledgement for their contributions and influences on your life. The second thing I'd like to highlight today is buck up and toughen up. Life is and will be challenging. You've witnessed this firsthand. After all, you're the COVID generation. Despite what we like to think or imagine, and maybe even what you've been told, life's trajectory is not always going to be up and forward. We are not going to turn this world upside down and inside out just because you graduated and entered the workforce. In fact, I would encourage all of you to think of your life and career as if it were a rock climbing wall. Sometimes the best way, the only way to get to the top involves going sideways, maybe even backtracking or going down before you can eventually move forward and upwards again. You have to be ready for what comes your way. You have to be resilient, and you have to be adaptable. Third, own and know how to tell your story. You all have incredible stories. As Alden noted, my wife and I attend a lot of events across campus. Music, theater, sports, you name it, we're there. And many of you are involved in many of these activities. So know how to tell your story. Athletes, I know many of you have had some challenging seasons. You play in one of the toughest conferences in the NCAA Division II, and our programs many times are undersourced and lack the funds of the bigger public schools. But I'll guarantee you this, when you're out for your job searches, they will not be asking about your win-loss records. They will ask you questions like this. Tell me about a time when you were tested and persevered. Tell me about a time when you were part of a team and that team was tested and you persevered. Tell me about a time when you had to play a supporting role for the betterment of your team or group, and how did you handle that? Wow, what stories you have to tell. Music and theater students, you have hundreds of hours of practice to highlight. Everything that has led to the excellence and accomplishments of your talents and crafts. not to mention incredible video footage along the way to further illustrate your achievements. To the Sloppy Joes, our comedy troupe, not all of your jokes were successful. Some may have even been complete duds. Nada, nothing, crickets, much like those of my speech today. To our non-traditional and full-time students, I know personally that many of you have balanced precariously at times full-time work and family obligations. Wow, what incredible stories. In a world that seems lost and many times without meaning, your educational journey has been about and been guided by experiences and people of faith, conviction, and integrity. Own your story. Understand it for the incredible journey it has been while you've been here at Newman University, but most importantly, know how to tell it and know how to sell it. Finally, don't take yourself too seriously. Remember this important lesson. The more you can laugh at yourself, the less you will leave to others. The more you can laugh at yourself, the less you will leave to others. The more education you get, the more humility you should feel. If that's not the case, you're not doing it right. Because no matter how much you learn, how many degrees you get, you will never learn more than a sliver of what there is to know. I tell my students there are numerous reasons we as faculty and staff do what we do, but there is also one glaring reason we don't do what we do. What we're not in this for is to create a bunch of individuals that think they're better than everyone else because they have a few extra letters behind their name. At Newman University, we want to create graduates that have the ambition, humility, and passion to take what they have learned and go out and positively impact and inspire people. Education is and should be about taking the knowledge you have gained and help lift all those in your sphere of influence. At this time, I want to give a nod to an incredible individual, an example of the humility, grace, and dedication that I'm referring to. This year's Staff Excellence Award winner is Selena Marchetti. She has been a dedicated member of the Newman staff for over 20 years, and I hear countless stories each year from students and others in regard to how she has positively impacted lives. She is an incredible person and role model for our community, and best of all, she has the heart and soul of a teacher. Wow, what incredibly blessings we have. So that's it. My parting hope and wish for all of you, our Newman University 2022 graduates, is that you'll leave here today and do your part to transform society and positively impact all of those around you. But while you're packing in the coming weeks and getting ready for that next stage of your lives, don't forget to pack your humility, don't forget to pack your gratitude, and most importantly, don't forget to pack your sense of humor. Thank you, and God bless.